this morning that the Waratahs are absolutely delighted to announce that Simon Raiwalui is our new Director of Performance and has signed up for the next 3 seasons. So we're absolutely stoked to have Simon with us. And this position, I guess, the Director of Rugby position, replaces the General Manager of Rugby role, and that it plays an integral part in shaping our strategy and development and performance across all Waratah players and pathways. So the Director of Performance will have an oversight role of the Waratah men's head coach, the Waratah women's head coaching program, and our academy and pathway programs. And it's a significant leadership role within Australian and New South Wales rugby. The appointment of Simon presents us an opportunity to hit the reset button for next year and for the next 3 years to assess and redefine our systems and strategies and ensure that we're doing everything possible we can to equip our teams for sustained success. Simon's wide experience as a player, but also as an administrator, made him an ideal choice. And the New South Wales Waratahs board are delighted that he will be joining us in early September. As you'd be aware, Simon has an excellent reputation internationally across the world. And again, we're really thrilled to secure his performances. For us, I guess, why Simon? His significant elite performance across the 3 pillars of coaching, player development, and high-performance sport will mean that he will be a valuable addition to our club. And I'm delighted this morning that Simon joins us from his home in northern New South Wales in Pottsville.
Hey, Paul. Good to see you. Good to see you all.
So happy to hand over, Simon, to Q&A if you like.
Yep, not a problem.
Hey, Simon, I might jump in and ask you why you've decided now to take the job, particularly so soon after joining World Rugby.
Well, Christy, how are you? Obviously, it was a quick decision. It came up, the role came up, and I got asked by Peter Horn if I'd be interested in going for the role, and then straight away it tickled my fancy straight away. It's an opportunity to if you don't know me, I grew up in Sydney. I grew up in Tempe. I'm born in the Southern Districts and played my rugby through juniors at Manly, Colts juniors, through to first grade before going overseas. So it's a good opportunity to come home, to be honest. And the opportunity came up so quickly and it was a really good opportunity at the time. It was the right time, and it was all about timing your career. What happens, what opportunities come about, and this opportunity just came about at the right time. With the direction World Rugby was going with, the direction that the Waratahs wanted to go with, and I took the opportunity.
I guess the biggest question is plenty of coaches, plenty of people have been at the Waratahs. There's really only been 1 or 2 people that have had some success. How do you plan on turning around the Waratahs, who finished last in 2024?
Well, I've been in the role officially 2 days, so I'll you might give me a bit more time to figure it out. But I just want to return the club back to its DNA. What's a Waratah? What's a Tar? To play for the Tahs, and I'm going to lean on the people that have been there, that have been through the experienced players, the experienced administrators, the past greats, and I'm going to lean on the journalists, the people that are there that know the core fabric of what it means to be a Tar. So it's going to be a huge opportunity for me. I'm going to start from scratch, get to know everyone. I'm a people person. I think my biggest strengths are dealing with people, so I'll get to know everyone personally. Through the Waratahs women's, we've got good bones there. So we've got good people there, and we are expecting success in our future journeys.
Simon, will you be now involved in the appointment of the search for the coach? And if so, what are your assessment of the kind of the candidates and the people around, whether we've been writing the right names or not? But is that part of your role now?
Yeah, I think as part of my new role, 2 days maybe, I've already been in a meeting around coaching options, and we've got some very good options in place. And Paul did say to me, in any future conversations, if I'm not comfortable, pass on the direct directions, the questions to him. But no, I will be. It will be part of my role. Finding the best candidate and support staff a lot around him, who it may be. So we're looking for we were looking for a world-class team to take the team forward, and yeah, we'll update you pretty quickly with what our options are.
I guess if I could just add two bobs worth there. Yeah, so 100%. So obviously we've got processes in place, but one of the things we've always said that we would want the engagement of our new director of performance. Conscious that Simon's still got a period of time where he has to finish out his current job, but we will involve him as much as we possibly can in that process.
Yep.
Simon, do you get a sense of the urgency of that appointment? Players looking to, you need to do recruitment. There are players you're looking to recruit and re-sign and all that sort of thing. I know that you don't start officially, but do you get a sense of that urgency? The players want some certainty?
Yeah, definitely there's urgency there. My job doesn't officially start for 2 months, but I'll be in the role from day one. I've already been contacting certain players, certain staff, just giving them a level of comfort, recruits. Yeah, just trying to make things smooth, a smooth transition when I come into the job officially. So yeah, I do get the sense of urgency, and it is urgent at the moment.
I'll just ask one more. Obviously, your experience with Fiji, that's it's a union that doesn't have a lot of resources, or traditionally hasn't had a lot of resources. You had to make do with what you had, and achieve great success. What you're now coming to a club that has traditionally had a lot of resources. What can you join together from your experience with Fiji and going to a place like New South Wales? What are the common threads you think that you can use to chase success?
Yeah, well, the biggest thing for me is resources are things that come and go. People are people, so they're always there, and they're always you're always reliant on them. So the way you treat people, the environment that you create for them, the environment that you get people to work within you for you, is the most important thing. So that's the common thread that we've got as a team. I will try to create an environment where players are comfortable to play, they're comfortable to be coached, staff that are comfortable to be in the position to work and grow as people. And just that's the way I am. I think that's the comfortable thing. Like I said, it's great to have all the resources and all the things that are there to make your journey comfortable. But they're the things that don't really matter in the long run. It's the people that are important, and I'm a big people person.
Yeah, the news overnight, Simon, that Czech had joined Leicester. Did that surprise you? And do you kind of wish that he was potentially an option that now no longer is?
No, it doesn't surprise me at all. Knowing Czech, he's got his fingers in many pies, and he's up there. So yeah, it's we've got what I will say is we've got a great selection of coaches available to us that have made themselves available to us, and we'll get a good, really good coaching staff out of it.
I guess a question for Paul. With Simon locked in, you sort of chatted brief about the head coaching position. Is there a timeline in place where you want that sort of locked in before sort of heading into the 25 season?
Oh, look, I think for us, Nathan, I think the urgency is the word that was used earlier. I think that's where we find ourselves at the moment. We know that there's a lot of player movement at the moment. We know there's a lot of discussions in the marketplace. So for us, just trying to get that done as quickly as possible, but actually doing a really thorough process to make sure we get the right person. Because we know what will happen after that. So we've got one piece of the puzzle locked in, which is Simon. The next one will be the head coach, and then obviously with our assistant coaches, it'll cascade down through there. So we will take our time to make sure we get it right, but at the same time, we try and do it as quickly as possible. So yeah, I don't know. It's hard to put a timeline on it, except we are working frantically to get ourselves through the process as quickly as we possibly can.
I guess for Simon, seeing the results of last year, particularly from the men's side of things, how much does that hurt, given your own connection to sort of New South Wales rugby and sort of seeing it not where, people are sort of forecasting might have been 24 months ago?
Yeah, it was difficult. Obviously, and it wasn't a part of the plan. We had a great squad. We had some really bad luck with injuries in terms of just getting consistent injuries after injury after injury after injury, and that played on any team's confidence. But this is a new year. This is a new squad. There's going to be a new staff, and we're going to go out there and we're going to go try to right the wrongs of last year and make the rights that they did create even better. So we've got a great opportunity this year to grow, and I think that's what the big word for this year is going to be growth. We're going to get those the good pillars that we've already got in place. There's some very good pillars at New South Wales Rugby, but just strengthening that spine of their squad and making it stronger for future success.
Hey, so how do you reflect on the state of Australian rugby at the moment? Like you've just known Australian rugby like the back of your hand since growing up, and you've seen the highs and the lows, but you also were a big part of it last year at the World Cup. Where do you think the solutions might be, and how do you see the game at the moment?
Well, at the moment, Christy, it's a little bit in transition, Australian rugby, and they've made some really great recruits with Peter Horn and Joe Schmidt and those guys coming in. So there's some real what's the word I'm looking for? Probably stability for the first time in probably 3 or 4 years, or since when I was back in. There wasn't much stability then either. So it's what the Australian rugby needs is that stability and their growth from schoolboys through to Colts through to grade, up through super, and then once you've got a stable system, you've got success. And at the moment, there's been a bit of a de-linkage of what you would say between the different sectors. But yeah, we're really working on that alignment through the programs. Whether it be state or international or club, we're looking for that alignment. And I think that we're on a good, with some of the recruitments that Rugby Australia's made, the different unions have made. We're on a good track at the moment. Obviously, results are going to be a huge thing with the Wallabies coming up, coming through there. But I've got a heap of faith in Joe. He's one of the great coaches, one of the great men. Peter Horn as well, just leading that squad, and I think they're going to surprise some people with some of their results.
And just on the World Cup, the fact that you guys were such heavy underdogs, 69-year drought that you managed to oversee, does it almost give you a bit of confidence knowing that upsets, history, it's kind of made to be broken at times, and you've done it pretty recently, been able to oversee one of the great upsets, and perhaps the Waratahs can be a great story in the coming years.
Yeah, I don't use that upset. I don't use past glories as a trump card. I genuinely wouldn't have taken the job. I didn't think that the Waratahs are a success in waiting. So I do think they have the bones. They have the pillars. They have the people in place to have success. There's obviously things that we need to work on. We need to get the best staff in place, whether it be playing or whether it be off field. We need to get the best players through the juniors, women, men, getting all our ducks in a row so that we've got success on the field. And I think we've got some really good bones here at the club. So I'm just here to push and pull and maybe guide a few conversations in the right direction, and and just trying to push us in the right direction. I do genuinely think that the Tahs are geared for success in the upcoming years.
And just on the Rebels, guys, there's players that are leaning towards perhaps other franchises, guys like Lukan Salakai, Loto, and so forth. How him, people like Daniela Tupou. Are you hopeful that your pre-existing relationships can help ease some of the anxiety, and how important it will be to get some of those guys from the Rebels who are top tier players?
Yeah, it's going to be very important. There's a couple of players that we've already had I've had conversations with. I won't give you their names. They're very important. They're very important to what I see as our success is the Waratahs success. What we need in terms of players to put a spine in place for the team to have success. So there's some certain players. There's not as many as you probably think there would be at the moment, but well, I'll let Paul talk about the players in more detail because I've only been here a couple of days yet. I can still use that.
Can I just push you though, see if I can push you? Hey, you've seen the power of a guy like Taniela in a Wallabies pack. How much would you like to see him cornering one of your scrums in New South Wales?
It would be very nice. It would be very nice. Taniela's a great young man. He needs a home where someone can show him some love, and yeah, if he's available, we'll chat to him.
Simon, who's bigger, you or Taniela, mate?
Oh mate, it's Taniela. I've lost weight. I'm down to about 125 now. So
It helps when it's covered across 6'7", though, Simon.
Taniela's about 100. He's a big man. It's all muscle. Mine is not all muscle, unfortunately.
And last year, when Eddie came back, there was talk about him overseeing the women's program. How like hands-on, or how actual, like, is this just a word that you've put in your title as well, or Paul's put in your title, or how much are you actually going to be doing the nitty-gritty stuff with the women's program?
No, I can't speak for Paul, but I'm 100% invested in the women's program. So I've been a part of the Fijiana Drua, building them up, giving them the opportunities, creating pathways for Fijian women in Fiji, not just on the field but off the field. I see it as part of a huge role. The women's space is a huge part of our game. With the Waratahs, it's the place where we had the most success last year. We won the title there, so we have expectations to continue that and to grow, to be honest. So like a lot of people have that title in their name as a bit of a I don't know, whatever it may be, but mine's there as to work with it and be part of it, and I'm excited to be part of the women's program.
And I guess just to pull up on that, Christy, that we don't pay lip service to that. We're really proud of the way in which our women's programs, academy program, and men's program actually fully integrated across the business, whether it's the way in which they all get access to the building, whether it's the medical staff, the high performance staff, but effectively it is already integrated. So for Simon to sit across all of that, I think it makes perfect sense, but it'll actually give us even better outcomes.
Yeah, cool. And just, is there an actual time frame? Like, you know, Leicester managed to get Czech to be their head coach in a matter of days. Like, how long does this take to get your next Waratahs head coach?
Not that long.
Yeah, and I'm questioning the days part. So yeah, just put that out there.